More than 300 text messages from a demoted FBI agent were the talk of the town today in those testy Capitol Hill hearings with Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. The agent, Peter Strzok, who was part of the Mueller special counsel team, called the president an idiot, among much other worse things. Here's how Rosenstein addressed the situation today.
The issue of bias is something different. I've discussed this with Director Mueller, and we recognize we have employees with political opinions, and it's our responsibility to make sure those opinions do not influence their actions. I believe that Director Mueller understands that, and that he is running that office appropriately, recognizing that people have political views, but ensuring that those views are not in any way a factor in how they conduct themselves in office.
Republican Congressman from Florida, Matt Gaetz, joins us now. All right, are you buying what he's selling today?
Oh, well, absolutely not. You would think from Mr. Rosenstein's testimony that these are people just saying, well, I like Hillary Clinton or I dislike Donald Trump. The entire reason that we have a special counsel process is to escape from conflicts of interest. But here we seem to have dove in head first into like an orgy of conflicts of interest right in Mueller's team. You've got two key relationships here. You've got Mr. Strzok and his mistress who continue these terrible things, not only about the president, but about their plans to, in fact, come in and save the country and be the insurance policy. So these are action items, Shannon, not just beliefs.
Do you give Mueller credit, though, when those were brought to his attention by the Inspector General, that he dismissed Strzok?
Yeah, but it wasn't Mueller that found him. Like, he had to basically get busted by his own Inspector General before this happened. Look, we should have had a process in place to vet the people on the Mueller team. Now, it's either one of two things. You got a circumstance where Mueller was expressly bringing people onto his team as a consequence of his bias, or he didn't care about the bias. But in either circumstance, you shouldn't have, like, the Never Trump group being the group that's investigating the president.
Okay, you're not a fan of this special counsel. Do you think there should be a second special counsel now to look into these allegations, as many other people are saying? They need to look at the FBI, the DOJ.
Of course, all Americans want to have confidence in the Department of Justice and the FBI, and right now that confidence is shattered because they've been turned into partisan political operations where people are able to go and persecute the President of the United States, which with information that is totally dubious. And I think to restore that, we've got to have more transparency, checks and balances, and stronger reporting to the Congress. It is really insulting to be a member of Congress and have the Deputy Attorney General not answer basic questions about whether taxpayer money was used to buy a dossier to undermine the president.
Okay, to this point about a secondary special counsel, this is what Senator Blumenthal, of course a Democrat on the other side of Capitol Hill, tweeted apparently today. He said, Rosenstein stood strong against disgraceful attacks by GOP congressmen on Mueller inquiry today, a shameful effort to distract and sabotage the investigation with deceptive calls for second special counsel.
Look, we have an oversight responsibility where if things aren't working right at the FBI or Department of Justice, we are the elected representatives of the people to ensure that you've got a fair process for all Americans. The evidence is overwhelming. The currently deputy director of the FBI wrote emails saying that Hillary Clinton was going to be treated special. At the same time, you've got the folks in the president, like Mr. Strzok, saying that, you know, he could smell the Trump voters at Walmart and that this election should have been 100 million to 0 and that there's no reasonable person that could have ever voted for Donald Trump. This is bias, but it's leading to action that is totally illegitimate, and we have a responsibility to get to the bottom of it.
Do you get a second special counsel on that point?
We absolutely should. Look, I mean, right now...
Do you think you will, though?
Well, that depends on the Attorney General. We have called on the Attorney General to step up and do his job or step aside. Right now, frankly, we see Rosenstein having more influence at the Department of Justice than our own Attorney General, and I think he could be strong right now, appoint a second special counsel, and restore confidence in these agencies that are absolutely essential to the functioning of our government and our society.
All right, politics aside, you and I do agree on college football. Go Noles.
Absolutely. Go Noles. And super excited about Willie Taggart.
Me too. All right. We agree on the coach. Good to see you, Congressman.
Good to see you.
All right. So many unanswered questions about the Las Vegas massacre.